There is a story behind Buc-ee's, how a Texas convenience store built a cult following by refusing to franchise that most people have never heard. This is Capital Logic, and today we are telling it. Before we dive in, if you find value here, hit like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's begin. Buc-ee's, the beloved Texas travel center, built its empire and cult following by refusing to franchise, a strategy that flies in the face of most convenience store growth models. It's a counterintuitive approach that has made them one of the most successful and talked about brands in retail. But how exactly did they pull it off? Stay until the end. I'll break down 3 lessons from Buc-ee's playbook you can apply to your business this week. If you want business breakdowns you can actually use, hit subscribe and the bell. You've seen the billboards. You've heard the buzz. You might have even planned a road trip around one of its locations. But how did a gas station, a convenience store, become a bona fide cultural phenomenon, inspiring devotion that borders on the fanatical? The story of Buc-ee's isn't just about big stores and clean bathrooms. It's a masterclass in strategic rebellion, a business built on defying every industry convention. It all started in 1982 in Lake Jackson, Texas. Arch, Beaver, Applin III, and Don Wasek opened their first small store. Now, at the time, convenience stores were, well, convenient. They were quick stops, often dingy, rarely memorable. Gas, a soda, maybe a stale hot dog. That was the expectation. But Applin and Wasek had a different vision. They saw a future where the pit stop wasn't just a necessity, but a destination. They wanted to create a place that travelers looked forward to visiting, not just endured. This wasn't about incremental improvements. It was about a wholesale reimagining of the roadside experience. From day one, they were making a Texas-sized bet against the norm, laying the groundwork for a growth strategy that would shock the industry. The early Buc-ee's locations, while growing, were still relatively humble. But even then, Applin understood the power of a singular, undeniable differentiator. And he found it in the most unlikely of places, the bathroom. Think about it. What's one of the most universally dreaded aspects of a road trip? The public restroom. Often grimy, poorly maintained, an experience to be rushed through. Buc-ee saw this pain point not as a problem, but as an opportunity. They decided to make their restrooms not just clean, but immaculate. This wasn't just a policy, it was an obsession. In 2006, Buc-ee's began actively marketing its claim of having the cleanest restrooms in America. And they weren't just talking. They dedicated staff to constantly monitor and clean these facilities. They invested in high-quality fixtures, spacious stalls, and an overall environment that felt more like a luxury hotel than a highway rest stop. This commitment paid off in a big way. In 2012, Buc-ee's won Cintas's America's Best Restroom Award, turning what was once a source of dread into a point of pride and a powerful marketing tool. People started talking. They started sharing. The restrooms became a legend, a reason in themselves to pull off the highway. It was a brilliant, counterintuitive move, transforming a typically overlooked, even reviled aspect of convenience stores into a core part of their brand identity and a key differentiator. It proved that by elevating the most basic customer need, you could create an experience that resonated deeply. But the story of Buc-ee's isn't just about clean toilets and tasty snacks. It's about a radical business decision that flew in the face of conventional wisdom for the convenience store industry. While most successful chains, from McDonald's to 7-Eleven, rely heavily on franchising to fuel rapid expansion, Buc-ee's did the exact opposite. They rejected the franchising model entirely. Every single Buc-ee's location, from that first small store in Lake Jackson to the behemoth in Sevierville, Tennessee, is 100% corporate-owned and controlled. Why would a company willingly slow down its growth by refusing to leverage the capital and entrepreneurial drive of franchisees? The answer lies in their unwavering commitment to consistency and quality. Applin and Wasek understood that their unique brand experience, the spotless restrooms, the friendly staff, the vast selection of proprietary merchandise, the sheer scale of the stores, was incredibly delicate. It was built on 1,000 small details, each meticulously managed. Franchising, by its very nature, introduces variables. It means ceding some control over operations, staffing, product selection, and even cleanliness standards. For Buc-ee's, that was an unacceptable risk. This decision meant slower initial growth, yes, but ensured absolute brand consistency across every single location. When you walk into any Buc-ee's, whether it's in Texas or Alabama or Florida, you know exactly what to expect. The quality of the fudge, the cleanliness of the bathrooms, the friendly demeanor of the staff, it's all uniform. This tight corporate control extends to every aspect, from the architectural design of each massive store to the specific training of its 200-plus employees per location. It allows them to maintain a lean corporate structure, enabling rapid decision-making and precise execution of their brand vision. This anti-franchise empire strategy isn't cheap. Building a single new Buc-ee's location is a colossal undertaking, costing an estimated $50 million to $70 million. That's a substantial capital outlay, far beyond what most convenience store operators could ever dream of. They also purchase large tracts of land, often 15 to 25 acres, to accommodate their expansive footprint and future growth, owning all their real estate rather than leasing. This provides long-term asset appreciation and greater control over site development, a key financial differentiator. This massive investment, however, serves as a natural barrier to entry, deterring direct competitors from even trying to replicate their model. It's a strategy built on scale, control, and a deep understanding of what makes their customers tick. But there's more to this story than just corporate control and clean commodes. But the sheer scale of Buc-ee's isn't just about the number of pumps or the size of the building. It's about what happens inside those walls. While a typical convenience store might dedicate 20% of its space to retail, Buc-ee's flips that script entirely. They dedicate an astonishing 80% of their massive footprint to merchandise. We're talking about stores that average 52,000 square feet, with the largest in Sevierville, Tennessee, stretching to a colossal 74,707 square feet, making it officially the world's largest convenience store. And what do they fill all that space with? Not just your standard chips and sodas. Buc-ee's is a retail wonderland. You'll find everything from branded apparel, home decor, and quirky gifts to an entire wall dedicated to their famous jerky, offering over 12 varieties prepared in-house. Then there are the beaver nuggets, caramel-coated corn puffs that have become a cult snack. These proprietary Buc-ee's branded items aren't just novelties. They account for an estimated 40% of all in-store sales. Think about that. Nearly half of what people buy inside isn't a national brand. It's a Buc-ee's exclusive. This isn't just selling stuff. It's selling an experience, a piece of the Buc-ee's identity you can take home. This focus on high margin, unique merchandise is a crucial part of their financial engine. While they might use dynamic pricing to offer competitive fuel prices, sometimes even undercutting local competitors to draw you in, they know the real money is made once you step inside. The average Buc-ee's customer spends approximately $25 to $35 per visit inside the store, in addition to their fuel purchases. Compare that to the typical $5 to $10 average at a traditional convenience store, and you start to see the power of this model. They've mastered the art of turning a quick pit stop into a shopping excursion, transforming a necessity into a destination. But an experience of this magnitude, one that keeps people coming back and spending more, doesn't just happen by accident. It requires an army of dedicated people. And this is where Buc-ee's makes another counterintuitive move in an industry known for high turnover and low wages. While many convenience stores struggle to attract and retain staff, Buc-ee's invests heavily in its human capital. They offer starting wages for cashiers at $16 to $18 per hour. Let that sink in. That's significantly above the federal minimum wage of $7.25 and often higher than local competitors, even in states with higher minimums. But it doesn't stop there. Full-time Buc-ee's employees receive 100% paid health, dental, and vision insurance, along with a 401k plan that includes a 6% matching contribution. These aren't just perks, these are benefits that rival many corporate jobs, not convenience store positions. Why this seemingly extravagant investment? Because Buc-ee's understands that the customer experience is directly tied to employee satisfaction and retention. Each store employs over 200 people. That's a lot of potential touchpoints with customers. By offering competitive wages and comprehensive benefits, they attract a higher caliber of applicant, reduce turnover, and foster a workforce that is genuinely invested in the company's success. This translates directly into better service, cleaner stores, and a more positive atmosphere. You'll rarely see an employee on their phone on the sales floor. That's a strict policy, ensuring focused customer service. And those famously clean restrooms? They have dedicated attendants whose sole job is to keep them immaculate, a testament to their commitment to the customer experience. This isn't just about being nice, it's a core operational strategy that underpins their entire model. This meticulous attention to detail, from the massive retail space to the well-compensated staff, culminates in what can only be described as a cult following. Buc-ee's has become more than just a place to fill up your tank. It's a road trip icon. The psychology behind this loyalty is fascinating. It starts with the branding. Buc-ee, the beaver, is instantly recognizable, plastered on billboards hundreds of miles in advance, building anticipation for the promised land ahead. These aren't just signs, they're breadcrumbs leading you to an oasis. The experience itself is consistent, almost ritualistic. You know you'll find clean restrooms, a claim they've actively marketed since 2006, even winning Cintas's America's Best Restroom Award in 2012. You know you'll find a vast selection of food, from their fresh-made barbecue and fudge to those addictive beaver nuggets. You know you'll find something unique to buy, a souvenir of your journey. This consistency across all locations, from the first store in Lake Jackson, Texas in 1982 to the interstate expansion that began in Robertsdale, Alabama in 2019, is paramount. It's not just a store, it's a reliable, entertaining, and slightly overwhelming sensory adventure. Customers often refer to Buc-ee's as the Disney World of convenience stores, and it's not an exaggeration. People are willing to drive extra miles specifically to visit one, turning a mundane pit stop into an event. The average customer spends 20 to 30 minutes inside a Buc-ee's, a stark contrast to the 3 to 5 minutes at a typical gas station. This isn't just about convenience, it's about entertainment, discovery, and a sense of belonging to a unique subculture. They've even been known to employ a scarcity tactic with some popular items, like seasonal merchandise, encouraging impulse buys and fostering that gotta get it before it's gone mentality. Buc-ee's doesn't rely on traditional advertising campaigns. Their marketing budget is minimal, instead leveraging word of mouth, social media buzz, and those iconic billboards. The brand itself, with its Texas roots and larger-than-life persona, has created a powerful sense of nostalgia and pride, even as it expands into new states like Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee. Founder Arch Applin III once famously said, "We're not trying to be everything to everybody. We're trying to be the best at what we do." And by focusing intensely on that niche, the traveling public, they've cultivated a loyal following that borders on fanaticism. This entire strategy, from the massive capital investment of $50 million to $70 million per store, to the 100% corporate ownership, the high wages, the clean restrooms, and the unique merchandise, all feeds into a single, cohesive vision. It's a vision that rejects the industry norms, defies conventional wisdom, and has, in turn, created a business that generated an estimated $2.7 billion in revenue in 2022. It's a testament to what can be achieved when a company dares to be different, to control every aspect of its brand, and to prioritize the customer experience above all else. But what can we, as business owners, entrepreneurs, or even just consumers, learn from this beaver-branded phenomenon? What are the underlying principles that allowed Buc-ee's to carve out such a dominant, almost mythical position in a fiercely competitive market? Now here are 3 lessons from Buc-ee's playbook you can apply to your own business. Lesson 1. Obsess over a single customer pain point. Identify a major frustration in your industry and become the undisputed best at solving it for your customers. For Buc-ee's, that was the abysmal state of highway restrooms. They didn't just improve them, they made them a destination, a point of pride, something people actually talk about. What's the one thing your customers dread about your industry? Lesson 2. Create a destination, not just a stop. Transform a mundane transaction into an enjoyable, memorable experience that customers will go out of their way to seek. Buc-ee's took a gas station visit and turned it into a road trip event, a place where people spend an hour, not 5 minutes. How can you elevate the ordinary parts of your business into something people look forward to? Think about it: a gas station, a destination. Lesson 3. Invest in employees and brand consistency. Pay above-average wages and maintain strict quality control to ensure every customer interaction reinforces your brand's promise. Buc-ee's understands that their premium experience starts with their people, which is why they pay well above industry average and enforce rigorous standards. This isn't just about good PR, it's about making sure every single touchpoint, from the brisket counter to the bathroom attendant, screams Buc-ee's quality. That consistency is how you build a cult following, not just a customer base. If you want more business breakdowns you can actually use, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Buc-ee's, How a Texas convenience store built a cult following by refusing to franchise is one example of a pattern that repeats across the most successful businesses in history. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Subscribe to Capital Logic, and we will keep showing you how the game is really played. See you next time.